Yesterday, we discussed the update for Black Ops 4, and specifically, the biggest change within that update was big changes to the Alcatraz map in Blackout in Black Ops 4. And in this, they added 2 brand new locations, but also the thing a lot of people don't know is there's also several changes made throughout the rest of the map that affect sight lines, the way you play, and even specific doors and windows that you couldn't get through that you can now. So today we are going to be going through the new locations, but also all of the smaller changes that have happened to the Alcatraz map as well. Now, before we dive in and look at the Alcatraz map, I just wanted to say thank you because over the past, literally 2 days, we have literally gotten thousands of new subscribers. So for those of you who are new to the channel, I really appreciate you being here and thanks for hitting that subscribe button. But even with all of you doing that, still only about 22% of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you enjoy my videos, you like watching them, I really do appreciate it when you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. Also, out of those 22%, only 22% of you have hit that notification button. So I think we can do better than that. If you enjoy watching my videos, you want to be notified whenever they're uploaded, that little bell icon down below is how you do so. So if you could hit that, I would really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's dive in. Let's look at Alcatraz. Let's look at what has changed. Let's go. So we're going to start off with the 2 new locations in the Alcatraz map. The first of which is off the north side of the island, and it is called Submarine. It's pretty straightforward what this one is. It is literally a submarine that is submerged and docked itself behind the Alcatraz building. Now, I don't have any old theater mode footage, but what I'm going to do is just take bits from old gameplay and kind of show you how there was nothing there before. So in the old footage here, as you can see as I drop in, there is nothing off the northwest side of the island at the top of the map. There is just water up there. And you can see in this clip here, as I run towards the Alcatraz building off to the coast, there is nothing there. Not even the dock that actually leads out to the water, which they also added in within this update. Now, the cool part about the submarine on this map is that there are so many entrances to get inside. As you can see at the very top, there's a porthole with a ladder that you can go right down into the interior of the actual submarine. Now, as far as the rest of the submarine, there is 2 different entrances, one in the middle of the boat and one at the back that you can enter into the building. Once you're in there, there are 2 different stories that you are able to find loot. It's not the most loot in the entire game, but I think it's a cool area because of how mazy it is once you get inside the actual submarine. Now, the other reason why I like this new submarine is because previously, if you landed at Model Industries on the right or the Alcatraz building on the left, you would kind of be pretty safe from your back because no one would land out in the water back here. So really, you just had to worry about the people in the middle of the map. But now you have to actually worry about people landing submarine and sneaking in behind you. So you kind of have to be more aware of your surroundings when landing at these other buildings. So the second new area is off the southwest side of the map, so completely opposite submarine. And this one is called Shipwreck. And honestly, I think this is a more influential area. First of all, it is bigger and also there is much more loot to be found here. But you can see just the distance that it spans all the way from that little island out the south side and then all the way to the west as well, which I think is a pretty large scale change to this map. Now, prior to this update, as you can see from the gameplay here, there was nothing out here other than that little island. And when the zone actually ended out here, there wasn't a lot of cover, nothing really to hide behind other than a few rocks here or there. So what I have personally found that this changed more than anything else is the zone ending out here. First of all, I've noticed since the update, the zone ends out to this area a lot more frequently. And on top of that, it's a lot more interesting because first of all, there are a couple layers to the boat that people could be in. And on top of that, it gives cover for people to actually try to pull off some plays with, which I really like. So as far as the actual layout to this area, in the very middle, the largest section of the boat, there are 3 different levels. The very top of the boat that I normally land on, the middle, which is kind of a smaller area that you can go, and then the bottom, which is closest to the water. Now, there are also several parts of the boats that have broken off. As you can see at the very tail end here, there's just a small compartment with 1 level to it. Similar off to the far side of the boat is the exact same thing. So a lot of area here to cover, and on top of that, a lot of area that loot can be. And the thing that I really like about this section here is that I find if you land here, there is enough loot for your team to actually get looted up and then push the busier parts of the map, because Warden's house over here and the main cell house are very easy to access from here, and you'll find a lot of people. So if you're going for high kill games, you can loot up over at the shipwreck and then kill everyone going towards the middle of the map. Now, the other big change to the map is at Cell House. So previously on the roof of Cell House, the only way to get inside was either the stairs or the skylights. However, that is now changed. As you can see here, the middle of the cell house building, there is a giant hole in the roof of the building. This allows for a very fast way for you to engage in the action inside the cell house building if you are previously up on the roof. Also, prior to this, as you can see by the gameplay here, the entire inside of cell house was very close quarters combat, good for shotguns and SMGs. But by this giant hole in the middle of the building being there now, it really opens it up and allows people who are using assault rifles to do a little bit better inside this building. It changes the openness of the inside, and I find that this is absolutely for the better because now there's a lot less corners and cells for people to camp inside of the cell house building, and now there's a lot more open gunfights. So that kind of sums up all the new location portions of this video. This is the big changes that have happened to the map. However, there's a lot of really little smaller changes that kind of just change individual areas, doorways, windows, sight lines, that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to be looking at throughout the rest of this video. And where we're going to start with that is in New Model Industries. Prior to this update, the real only way to exit the south side of the building was the door upstairs here. There was also one down to the right as well. However, in this update, they introduced a new door underneath the upstairs one on the south side of the building. As you can see from this older gameplay here, as I drop down to the bottom floor of New Model Industries, there is no door underneath here that you can exit on that south wall. And now, as you can clearly see, there is once again another means of egress on that south wall. The next really small update is this window right here. This is a very odd window because during one update, it actually got glitched and you couldn't go through it. So then in the next update, they boarded it up. And now you can once again get through this window on the third story of Model Industries. That's pretty much all I have to say about this one. So the next one is the Alcatraz building. So in the previous update to this one, a couple of changes were made. First of all, this little bridge right here was added to get into the second story there. On top of that, in the previous update, this little roof hatch with a ladder was added as well for a way to get from the inside top story up onto the roof. Now, I know this happened in an older update, but the reason why I bring this up is because it seems like Treyarch is trying to find a way around people sitting on roofs and then other people not being able to get up there and to attack them. Because in this update, they did a similar change to a different building over by the dock. You see, previously, this building, really the only way to get up onto the roof was with a grappling hook. So if you didn't have one, you were at a pretty big disadvantage. However, now on the dock side of the building, you can see one fire escape set up here for you to get onto the roof and another one as well if maybe they're camping out on that one. This was really the major change made to this side of the map. Now, going back to the Alcatraz building, you actually used to be able to get behind the generators here, and as you can clearly now see, they have blocked it off with some metal pipes. This is definitely a good thing because now people can't just sit behind there and wait for you to walk by. And the last one here I think is the weirdest change out of any of them because it's not really affecting the gameplay whatsoever. So over by the Alcatraz building, on the area that you used to climb up, the little tiered area, there used to be a set of boxes with tarps over them that you could climb up on and get onto the roof. Now that bunch of boxes is no longer a bunch of boxes. It is simply a generator with a metal cage around it. Why they changed this, I don't really know. It doesn't affect the gameplay whatsoever. It just affects the climbing up of this area and the aesthetic of it. So are they going to implement something with this generator? I don't know, but like I said, this is definitely the weirdest change that we saw in this update. So those are all of the changes that I have personally found so far in this update. If I missed any, if you see any that I missed in this video, feel free to let me know down in the comments because I'm simply curious to see what else has changed. But on top of this, I do have to say, I try to always give credit where credit is due to Treyarch because I shit on them a lot with their monetization and supply drops and stuff like that. But as far as Alcatraz goes, this is a map that a lot of people didn't even expect to be added to the game. And now they are updating it and adding new locations. So I have to give them props to that. I am pretty impressed with that. And honestly, I love this map. It is absolutely my favorite Blackout experience. Now, before the end of this video, I just wanted to give one update that I would like to see made in the future of the Alcatraz map. That would be over by the tents here. There is this really weird garage door that seems really out of place, and I would love to see them maybe open that up and make a tunnel maybe underneath these buildings, and that goes right into the cell house basement. I think that would be a really cool addition because as of right now, to me, this just seems really out of place, but I would love to see that opened up and maybe it funnel into Cell House and make it almost like a flank route for people who are camping in Cell House. I think that would be really cool. But ladies and gentlemen, those are all of the changes made to Alcatraz in this update, at least the ones that I could find. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did and you want to see these videos going forward when they update the maps, be sure to hit that like button. Also, as I talked about earlier, if you're new to the channel and like what you see here, the best way to stay up to date on all my videos is make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you have notifications turned on. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are real.